Hi, I'm Judy. Welcome to Go with Yin Yoga and this Yin Yoga practice to help you transition between fall and into winter. Now, it certainly looks like fall when I'm recording this, and it is. It's definitely not going to be right before winter. So the color associated with winter, I hope you can see this. I can zoom in on it a little bit. It's yellow. And there's a lot of yellow around me at the moment because, well, actually it's fall. It's not winter. Okay, so this practice will help you get into your hips, your glutes, and your knees. We don't always get into our knees so much. And on a more subtle level, it's about grounding so that you feel safe and stable between transitions. Whether that's seasons, whether that's age, whether that's emotions, a new job, a move, it's always a good idea to ground and get centered before we have those transitions. And also, of course, whether it's a yoga pose. Fall is going to be falling all over me. I've used that line before. So go ahead, gather up your props, join me on your mat, and let's begin to transition into our time on the mat, let go of whatever came before. Let's start using a mudra and the Earth Element Chant, which is also associated with your root chakra, also associated with stability and safety. So we're going to start with the Bhu Mudra. You're going to take your pinky and your ring fingers and bend them in towards your big thumb mound, and then take the thumb over those two fingers. The other two fingers come out into a peace sign. And again, hopefully you can see that. I had to move my recording device because the sun was interfering with it. And then just take those two free fingers and put them onto your mat. Better yet, onto the ground. We're going to ground. Begin to take a few deep breaths. Inviting your breath to slow, your mind to slow. Welcoming yourself to this time on your mat. And perhaps closing your eyes if that's comfortable for you. As we plug into the earth to recharge, let's go ahead and chant. And you can do this silently or aloud. Lum. It's spelled phonetically L-A-M, but it's pronounced lum. So just lum. Inhale, lum. Inhale, lum. Continue on, if silently or out loud. Feel the vibrations. I want to share with you this quote from Lao Tzu, which is, anxiety is living in the future. Depression is living in the past. And peace is living in the present moment. So a lot of emotions are associated with organs in traditional Chinese medicine. Today we're targeting our stomach and our spleen meridians. And you're thinking about transformation and digestion of food, digestion of thoughts, emotions. And it's a good time to notice how your digestion is functioning. Maybe the fun foods you indulged in during the summer, maybe you need a little reset and a little detox. Between the seasons is a great time for those things. And of course, fall is associated with letting go. Go ahead and let your mudra go. The benefits of that mudra are also very grounding, as well as perhaps may lower your blood pressure. So if you have low pressure, probably not the mudra for you. If you're sitting up on something, come on off. If your knees are sensitive, you may want a blanket to pad them. And go ahead and grab a couple of blocks. We're coming into Dragon Pose. I'm going to try mine on, you can have them at their lowest level like this. You can take the medium level like this. You can bring them up to the highest level, or you can choose not to use blocks at all. Come into a tabletop position. Hips are over knees, shoulders are over wrists. They're more or less. And on your next inhale, go ahead and take your right foot forward. This is Dragon Pose in traditional Chinese medicine. Obviously, you may know it as low lunge. And it targets your knee, targets your hip flexors, and you may feel a bit into your quad in the leg that is behind you. So the stomach and the spleen meridians, some of the target areas are chest, our abs, our inner leg, inner knee. The invitation to close your eyes. And allow your shoulders to soften. Let your forehead relax. And let your lower jaw open slightly. Feel a wave of relaxation just sweeping down your body. The affirmation I am offering you today is grounding helps keep me stable during transitions. Last couple of breaths here. And go ahead and take your blocks. Ooh, maybe stretch your hips back a little bit. Put the blocks towards the top of your mat and then just heel toe that front foot over towards the side of the mat, letting the knee come down. Your shin does not have to be parallel to the top of the mat. If it is, that's wonderful. If it's not, Obviously mine is not. If this is too much for you, this is Swan Pose. Go ahead and take figure 4. And that could be either seated or laying down on your back. And I'll also have a little tutorial for you above. I like to start Swan in an upright position. So Swan is obviously targeting our inner leg and our inner knee, as well as the hips and the low back. For a lot of people, this is a challenging pose. And you will get the same benefits by doing figure 4. Let me just move this over. And invitation to maybe grab those blocks. Bring one back towards your knee and the other one level with that. And perhaps take your forearms to your blocks. You can also take them right to your mat if that's comfortable for you. Slightly tuck your chin. Have a nice long neck. Notice where in your body you're holding tension. For me, it was through my shoulders. See if you can breathe into them and soften. Maybe you want to take those blocks forward and reach the arms forward and come further down. And perhaps you want to stay at exactly the level you are. Wherever you are is perfect for you in this moment, right here, right now. And the last couple of breaths. And then slowly bring your palms to the blocks or towards the mat and walk them back towards your body. Lifting your lips, taking your foot back to meet the other. Brief pause in tabletop. Grab a block if you have it. Place it approximately underneath your forehead. Then bring the big toes together and the knees as wide as the mat if that's comfortable for you. Grabbing the block, allowing your forehead to come onto your block. And taking just a brief rest in child's pose before we move on to our second side. And go ahead and press into your palms. Bring your body upright. Taking your blocks in whatever configuration you did on our first side. Feet point towards the back of your mat. Inhale and slowly step your left leg forward. You may find one leg moves a little easier than the other. Coming into dragon on our second side. Grounding helps me feel safe and stable during transitions. And again, tucking the chin slightly, A nice long cervical spine, long neck. And feeling whatever sensations you feel in this present moment right now. Maybe feeling into your body, asking yourself, do I need to change? Do I need to change the height of my blocks? Do I need to grab a blanket, put it underneath my knee? Do I need to take a break and go into child's pose? You can break whenever you want to during any practice. And then asking yourself, what is my breath doing? Can I send my breath to the areas that are tight or a little achy? Can I soften there? Or maybe I need to back out of the pose a little bit. Maybe I've gone too far in. These are all things I can't tell you, but your body will, if you listen. Last couple of breaths. On your next inhale, really slowly as you can, begin to move those hips back. Not quite a half monkey pose, but just give your hips a little break and that hip flexor a little break. Again, take the blocks towards the top of the mat and begin to heel toe that front foot over to the side of the mat. Maybe pressing into your back leg on your toes a little bit, straighten out, and then perhaps allowing the sole of your back foot to come to the mat. And this practice is relatively short, for Yin anyway, but it's a bit more on the challenging side. And maybe you don't find it challenging at all. And choose whether or not you'd like to come down to your forearms. Remember, you can also be in figure 4, seated, or figure 4 laying on your back. And I highly recommend both poses. Those are good poses to do every day, really. Notice where you're holding tension. See if you can breathe it out. Grounding keeps me stable and safe during transitions. Go ahead and, if you'd like, try pushing those blocks further forward, coming down, so that your chest is resting onto your shin. Totally optional. Ask your body what it wants in this pose today, in this present moment. Last couple of breaths. And then slowly begin to take the palms of your hands to the mat or your blocks. Bring them back towards your body. Very slowly, very gently, begin to lift those hips. Take that front foot back and move your blocks off to the side. Unless you don't have a bolster, and then you can use your blocks in almost our next pose. For now, we're going to take a little counter time. Let the hips and the back relax a little bit. In child pose, you can take one hand on top of the other if you've put your blocks away. Allow your forehead to rest on your hands. And then slowly take your palms to the mat. Begin to press into those palms to bring your torso upright. Maybe bringing your knees together. Go ahead and grab a bolster if you have it. Put it horizontally across your mat, about 2/3 of the way up. And then take one leg forward and the other. It's very graceful. And sit towards the front of your bolster. If you don't have this bolster, grab those two blocks, put it underneath your sacrum. We're coming into supported bridge pose. And go ahead and slowly walk down to your elbows. Maybe get those leaves out from behind you. Coming down onto your back. Maybe you need to grab the bolster and the blocks, readjust. Maybe the feet need to come closer to the bolster. Once you get into position, allow everything to relax. Oh. Grounding helps me stay stable and safe between transitions. In supported bridge, we're getting into our low back a little bit. But we're also opening up our chest. It's a slight back bend. So getting into the spleen and stomach meridians. Improving digestion. Allowing us to transform easier. And a little bit into our hips as well. Again, a little bit into the center legs and inner knees. I'm being pelted by fall. Last couple of breaths here. And we are slowly and gently transitioning between supported bridge and into Savasana. We'll do a slight counterpose before we come into a full Savasana. Just take whatever you have underneath your sacrum, if you do, and bring it down towards your knees. And then bring one knee into the chest, and then the other. And we're going to take just a really brief pause in wind pose. Allow your lower back to relax. Allow your hip flexors to relax. You might even like to take a little movement. Inhale, take the knees away from the body. Exhale, bring them back towards your chest. Inhale away. Exhale back towards yourself. Just a little movement before you settle into Savasana. In which case, begin to take your legs over that bolster, about your knees. And maybe a little padding underneath your head. Hands can come out from the side slightly. Or you can use blocks under the knees if you don't have that bolster. Your choice. You can either take your palms of your hands up towards the heavens or ceiling, or down towards your mat. I like to go back to that Bhu Mudra, so bending your pinky and ring fingers in towards the thumb now. Thumb bends over those two fingers, and your index finger and your middle finger spread slightly apart. And then I just like to put them right onto my mat. And I am going to gently transition into sitting so I can hold space for you. If you set an intention at the beginning of this practice, now is a great time to revisit that intention. And if you did not, mine is simply for you to ground between seasons, between transitions. Or physically, you are just strengthening the connective tissue in your hips, in your knees, a little bit in your low back, a little bit opening of the chest, and a little bit of the glutes. Quads, tiny bit too. And I'd like to once again read you the quote from Lao Tzu. Anxiety is living in the future. Depression is living in the past. And peace is living in the present moment. A great reminder to be mindful, to be here right now. And go ahead, close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And just remain in Shavasana until you hear me speak again, or as long as you would like to. You can never stay too long in Shavasana. And I'm going to practice the Bhu Mudra as I am sitting here as well. You can really never have, well, you can almost never have too much grounding. Allow your body to feel really heavy. As if the bones are pulling you into the earth. Feel all along the back of your body where it meets the mat or the earth. Back of your head, your upper back, your buttocks, and the heels of your feet. Feel how safe and secure and stable you are. And allow your breath to begin to deepen. Slowly rising back to the surface. As you feel ready, go ahead and begin to take whatever little movements you need to come back out of Savasana and into your day. Maybe moving the head from side to side or back a little bit and down. Releasing any tension that may have accumulated during this practice. Perhaps wiggling fingers and toes or circling ankles and wrists. And on your next inhale, raise your hands above your head. Take a nice long stretch from the tips of your toes all the way up to the tips of your fingertips. Keeping your eyes closed if they are. Take the soles of your feet to your mat. Knees bend, and then gently let both knees fall over to either side. Maybe bringing those knees a bit more in towards your body. And take a few deep breaths here. Sending your body gratitude for taking this time for yourself. For taking care of yourself so that you can take care of the others in your life. And as you're ready, go ahead and bring your hands to the mat, slowly bringing your torso upright and bringing yourself into an easy seated position. Keeping the eyes closed still. Inhale, take the palms of the hands together in front of your heart in prayer position. If you rub them back and forth a little bit, bringing yourself back into the moment even more. And then letting them come to stillness. Thumbs come into the middle of your chest. Elbows flare out to either side. Slightly bowing your head over your hands. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you be free of pain and suffering. And may you be safe in all of life's transitions. And slowly blink your eyes open. Taking in your mat, lifting your head with a smile on your face. Thank you so much for joining me during this practice. Thankfully, these cars waited till the end of the practice to make lots of noise. If you enjoyed this practice, please go ahead and click the like button to help me bring free yoga to even more people. If you'd like to practice with me again, go ahead and click the subscribe and the bell. And may you take the safety and the security and the stability of this practice out into the rest of your day.